Hello my friends, so after more than 2 weeks of not making any videos, BoyDilly is back. Stupid YouTube gave my channel a strike for having a thumbnail which includes vaginal penetration. I mean, seriously, what is wrong with vaginal penetration? After making that thumbnail, I was not able to post any videos on my channel for 2 weeks. But now I'm back, and more black than ever. Whatever that means. Anyway, it's that time of the year when we are getting a new game mode in Dead by Daylight, and honestly, every time we get a new iteration of 2v8, it makes me very fucking happy. To be fair, I'm a little bit late to make this video because, you know, 2v8 has been out for a while now, you know, thanks to YouTube disabling my ability to post videos for 2 weeks, you fucking retard. But this is a third iteration of 2v8, this one is Resident Evil themed, and honestly, in my opinion, despite being fun as hell, this iteration has a bunch of problems that I'm gonna talk about. But before that, if you like a gigantic horse penis, then make sure to subscribe to this channel. Okay, so first of all, I have to say that in my opinion, 2v8 is very fun, and when I say that it is a very fun game mode, I mean it is extremely fun to play. And honestly, if I had to choose between 2v8 or 1v4, most likely I would choose 2v8, because I was forced by these motherfuckers to play the same game mode for 3,600 hours.
I think we did a pretty good job so far.
I mean, seriously, what took them so long to add a new game mode into this game? I mean, Behaviour is a huge company. You know what else is huge? Alright, so let's start with something positive. It's not a secret that there is no other map in Dead by Daylight that I hate more than RPD. I absolutely hate this map and I think it's terrible. So obviously, when developers announced that RPD is coming into the 2v8 game mode, I was extremely skeptical and I wasn't excited for it at all. But having played 2v8 on the RPD map, I'm honestly pretty impressed. The map feels pretty balanced for both sides, and honestly it's very fun to play killer on RPD when it comes to 2v8. Unlike 1v4, I absolutely cannot play killer on that map because it is very much survivor sided when it comes to 1v4. Also, they have added these herbs into the game, and this is a very welcome addition to the game. I mean, these herbs, they don't really benefit killers that much, come on. 10% haste bonus to both killers for 20 seconds doesn't really sound that impressive and game changing, but for survivors, these herbs are absolutely game changers. For example, if a survivor interacts with a yellow herb, which spawns absolutely randomly in random locations, so you will never know where they spawn, but if a survivor interacts with a yellow herb, that herb will restore a hook state on use. So it means that basically it will remove one cage state. That is very cool. So it's like an additional life to a survivor. And if a survivor interacts with a green herb, it will restore a health state on use, which means that the survivor will basically get an ability to heal themselves in a matter of a couple seconds by interacting with this herb. But honestly, it seems like many people do not understand how these herbs work, even though it's very simple to understand it. But yeah, just take a look at this clip from my stream. Hey. Try this. Hey! This. Oh my god, can you just use the fucking plant? I have no idea, maybe that survivor needed to use some glasses or something like that, but come on man, that herb would have given him an additional life basically. But these herbs, it's definitely a W for Dead by Daylight, they are great. Also, I'm really happy that we are getting an expanded roster of killers. I mean, Nemesis is now playable, Albert Wesker is now playable, which is absolutely great. Also, the Legion is playable in 2v8, which is where the problems begin. And you see, I'm speaking as a person who loves the Legion. I mean, 3 years ago, I used to main the Legion and I was a very good Legion player. Back in the old days when Dead by Daylight had ranks based on numbers, I used to be a rank 1 Legion player, which was the highest rank in the game. But it's no secret that playing against the Legion is an absolute torture. In 1v4 alone, it feels terrible, being injured most of the time, not knowing if you should heal yourself or if you should leave yourself broken the entire time, and constantly getting inappropriately touched by the Legion feels absolutely terrible. In fact, I would say that the Legion is the main killer which causes survivors to actually disconnect from their games, because that is how frustrating it is to face this killer. And now Dead by Daylight developers decided that it would be a great idea to allow the Legion to inappropriately touch 8 survivors in the same game.
I think we did a pretty good job so far.
And let me explain why the Legion is probably the most powerful killer in the 2v8 game mode, especially when played with your friend. You see, since the beginning of the match, the Legion can easily injure all 8 survivors in the same game, and ideally when you play the Legion, you don't even want to kill survivors. All you do is keep them injured. You keep them injured, right? And every single injured survivor on the map is basically a one-hit down, so your friend who plays killer doesn't even have to stress. They just down the survivor, you know, with one hit. That's how easy it is. And I've noticed that when I play the Legion, I get the most disconnects out of any killer that I tried in 2v8, and I've tried playing every single killer in this game mode. The Legion is the one killer that causes the most disconnects. And this is where all of the other issues come into play. Survivors, if they don't really enjoy the match, if they don't really like playing against the Legion, they can easily disconnect without getting punished much. I mean, you disconnect, right? And for the first disconnect from the match, you will be locked from playing Dead by Daylight for like 1 minute, which is like, what the fuck is that, you know? That's not even a penalty. And it actually causes for most of the killers that, by the way, have to wait for like 20 to 30 minutes to get into a match, because queue times for this game mode are incredibly long, right? Imagine waiting for 25 minutes to play killer in 2v8 with your friend, and then multiple survivors disconnect, and you're basically playing against bots. Who likes that? Who likes playing against bots? Nobody, right? And by the way, when I say that queue times are long as fuck, I'm talking specifically about the killer queue times. For survivors, it's not an issue. You can disconnect, wait 5 seconds to get into a new lobby and start a new match. That's very easy for survivors. On the other hand, when I tried to get into a killer match, well, I was able to masturbate, cook 5 eggs, and eat all of them by the time they finally found a match. What many killer mains do, they click on that play button, and while the game is looking for a match, these players, they are doing something else, like cooking, watching a YouTube video, or doing something else, and some of them forget that they have actually started looking for a match, and it results in many killers being AFK, you know, in this game mode. Like yesterday, I had totally forgotten that I'm looking for a killer match, and it ended up in me being AFK for the whole match, and then another killer was complaining like, oh my god, you're such a motherfucker, why did you queue when you are AFK, you know? I had to apologize, you know? I can't really blame the developers for these long queue times. I mean, at this point, Dead by Daylight is still a paid video game, and now it has 2 different game modes, 4 different ways to play these game modes, and people want to experience something new, like playing the killer role with their friends, which we were not able to do that ever before. And it results in so many people queuing for the killer match and so little people queuing for the survivor match, which is an extreme imbalance, right? Causing these long queue times for the killers. And this is where I have to give some respect to the developers for trying to fix this problem. They are actually giving us 400% bonus blood points if we choose to play the survivor role. And by the way, again, I have to mention that the queue times for survivors are almost non-existent, so if you just want to farm blood points as fast as possible, I would say just play survivor and that's it. That's how you get a shitload of blood points easily. But even 400% bonus blood points couldn't fix the problem. In fact, the developers had added 2 bots into every single match, so it was basically, if you click to play as a killer, you will be playing against 6 real players and 2 bots, which again, nobody likes to play against bots, and adding 2 bots into every single match only reduced the wait times for the killers on average by 3 minutes. So it's basically nothing, right? And I'm very happy that right now developers decided to remove 1 bot from every single game. So right now, if you queue up into a killer match, you will be playing against 1 bot and 7 real people, assuming that they don't disconnect, you know, because there are many disconnects happening, because Dead by Daylight doesn't even have a fucking disconnection penalty that is actually working well. And playing against bots in this game mode is absolutely terrible. I mean, in 1v4, bots work pretty well, you know, if somebody disconnects, the bot just replaces the disconnector, and I have never had an issue with that. But in 2v8, the bots are some of the most annoying people playing the game, are unironically. Honestly, these bots, they literally have wall hacks, they know where the hatch is, they know where every single window and pallet is, they literally drop every single pallet on you, you know, so these bots, it's absolutely a torture to chase them. Honestly, it's easier to chase real people than bots, and I'm not saying that as it's a good thing, it's a terrible thing. So overall, the title of this video is actually clickbait. I don't hate the 2v8 game mode. If you still watch this video until the end, I have to tell you that it is a clickbait for views. But I don't hate the 2v8 game mode. It is a very fun addition to the game, and I want it to become a permanent addition to the game. But again, the queue times, they are so problematic that developers cannot afford making this game mode permanent right now. And I think the only solution to finally fix these queue times forever, permanently, is to make this game free to play. Which will actually get me a lot of hate, because you will say, BoyDilly, the anti-cheat system in Dead by Daylight is very bad. Exactly, I think that developers need to put their money and focus into fixing the anti-cheat system of Dead by Daylight. And hey, all of the most popular games right now, all of the most successful games right now are totally free to play. Dead by Daylight has enough microtransactions to make up for it. In fact, it would be financially beneficial for the developers, and I know that the developers are pretty greedy, you know, it's a business after all, you know. It would be financially beneficial for them to make this game free to play. So it would actually fix the problem, in my opinion. But if this game doesn't go free to play, in that case, they cannot really afford making this game mode permanent. Which is sad, because it's very fun in my opinion. Anyway, comment what do you think. I'm gonna go and enjoy some more 2v8. I will see you later. Goodbye.